Sound is down. All right, there we go. So we are now live on YouTube. All right, you guys. So this is what it's all about. So Leads to ROI, a winning strategy for real estate agents based on data and metrics. And this is, of course, by us here at Be Known Advertising. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So where did we get the data to create this proven follow-up system? So there were two major studies that we followed to make sure that we got all of the pieces of the puzzle correct and got everything right. So one of the pieces to that puzzle was coming from the lead response management study by MIT. And the second was the best practices for lead response management by Harvard Business Review. Now, we wanted to make sure that we were getting these from extremely reliable sources. And I can tell you guys from 15 years of call experience and working in positions for companies like Zillow, JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, these call statistics are very, very true. And they really hit the nail on the head. The next portion is through trial and error through 68 years of combined sales experience. Now, you guys, I personally don't have 68 years of sales experience, but our team that helped build this and get this system up and running together, we have a combined 68 years of sales experience. And so I want you guys to be able to kind of take that and put that in your hip pocket so that as you guys are growing your teams for real estate, you can start leveraging information like that so that you can position yourself to be the go-to agent within your marketplace. So what you can do in that instance is actually go ahead and meet with all of the agents that are on your team. Go ahead and write down what each individual's experience is. And then you can put a statement out like, hey, my real estate team has a combined 100 years of experience in helping buyers and sellers move into their new home or sell their home at a premium so that they can put more equity in their pocket. So just a little caveat side note on that, just a good little sales tip for you guys. So what is the formula for consistently filling your calendar with bookings? Number one, it boils down to a steady stream of fresh leads coming into your database every single day. Two is utilizing a proven lead management system. And three is following our winning routine for lead management. And again, this came from studies and years of experience in doing so. Now, consistently filling your pipeline with fresh quality leads, you absolutely need a steady flow of buyers and sellers coming into your lead management system. A consistent pipeline is the first fundamental ingredient in taking control of your business. And I'm sure everybody that's on this call can agree with that. Next, it boils down to utilizing a proven lead management system. This is the second fundamental ingredient of converting more buyers and sellers, which is a properly maintained lead management system that you can call, text, email, book appointments, and log pertinent information and notes within that system. And then the last portion, the third fundamental ingredient, is following a proven follow-up method that increases lead conversion and creates a consistent formula that allows you to calculate future income and growth of your business. Now, once you guys get about 6 months into building a pipeline and really focusing on the key metrics, how many dials you're putting in every single day, how many appointments are coming from those dials, how many of those appointments are then converting into a buyer or a seller's agreement so that you can then go and make your gross commissionable income. That is where you can reverse engineer the numbers and say, I need to make X number of dials every single day, which will yield Y in commissionable income that will come my direction. So what is our follow-up roadmap? Now, as you can see at the top, this is probably going to look a little Greek to everybody, but these are all triggers. So if somebody fills out a form on a particular landing page, a lead comes in from Facebook, something along those lines, and this is specifically on the buyer side, what does that roadmap look like? So the very first thing that happens is we create an opportunity. So that's going to go ahead and plug your lead into a sales pipeline and show you that they're a brand new lead. They're fresh into your system. And this is something that happens immediately. The next step is a contact tag is then added. And once that contact tag is added, it lets you know what type of lead you are working with, right? The third piece, and this is super cool. We've been beta testing this for a long time and it is available and ready for launch. We have a ton of agents that are seeing success with this. A dynamic call script link is added to the client's notes. And after I get done with this presentation, William's actually going to go ahead and give us a walkthrough on Leads to ROI so that you guys can get a better understanding of what we are talking about throughout this process. And then once I'm done with this kind of roadmap, we're going to go into facts and findings and raw data and statistics. So this dynamic call script that gets added, essentially what it does is it pulls data from your leads, information that they filled on a Facebook form, and presents it right in front of you while you're calling and speaking with that lead, so that you have all of that information loaded up to your lips to give you a better opportunity to convert that lead into an appointment and go ahead and get that booked. The next thing that's going to happen is you guys are going to receive an internal notification to let you know that the lead has came in and all of the pertinent information that comes along with it. And then a manual call is going to be generated in the system for you to dial that lead inside of 2 minutes. Now we're going to get into why that's so important here in just a moment. Then we send a text message out. We wait, we send an email out 10 minutes later, we send another text, we send another text, and then we move on to the next day to start sending out more text. So after the very first day that that lead comes in, we hit them hard and fast right out of the gate. And then we start to slow down that follow-up over time, because we don't want to highly inundate somebody over the course of a week or a month where we're hitting them every single day, multiple times a day. But that very first day is extremely important to converting those leads. Now, with this particular follow-up roadmap, we're showing you just a quick snippet of what we do for our agents. And so these text calls and emails are going to continue for more than 20 days. And some of the campaigns have over a year of follow-up, depending on the lead's indicated purchase or sale time frame. So it's one of the questions we ask in our Facebook forums and on our landing pages, is what their time frame to move or what their time frame to buy or sell is, so that we know which campaign to put in front of them and how to put the best type of messaging in front of those leads. And we can absolutely back up our claims with facts and findings. Now we have a BKA buyer lead campaign A here, B campaign, and C. So the A campaign is going to be for anybody that filled out that form saying that they were looking to buy now within the next 3 months. B is going to be 3 to 6 months. And C is going to be beyond 6 months. So one of the things that you can see here, we have over 1,500 leads that have pooled into this with our facts, findings, and data. You can see the total number of leads in each campaign. We go 839, 391, and 403. Now, if we move all the way over to this column for replied, 543 leads have replied on the A campaign, 200 leads have replied on the B campaign, and 182 leads have replied on the C campaign. So this brings us to totals of 64.72% response rate from your leads, 51.15% response rate from your leads, and 45.16% response rate. Kelly, would you say that's some pretty darn good statistics?
I would say that's way above industry standard. Matter of fact, it's super hyper above industry standards. To get 64% to respond to an email or a text, that's unheard of.
Absolutely. Definitely. I mean, so our goal is to consistently work the metrics and the numbers that are in our database so that we can refine and fine tune these campaigns so that we can get our agents the best level of response on those leads when they're coming in. Now, we're going to start diving into some really solid information that came from those two studies, from the MIT and the Harvard Business Review studies, and things that we have put into practice ourselves. And we have seen the same results that we were getting from those studies that we took a look at. So what are the best days, times, and how quickly should you respond to leads to create the highest level of conversion? So the best days to call are Wednesday and Thursday. We have the highest level of answer rate on Wednesday and Thursday from our leads. The best times are 8 a.m. and 4 to 5 p.m. So if you catch them first thing in the morning, and then you catch them while they're on that drive home from work or just walking through their door after they've gotten off, those are the best times to go ahead and catch those leads and get them on the phone. So I recommend agents that are going to be making their calls and setting up block times, set up a block time between 8 and 9 every day, and set up another block time between 4 and 5 every day. Your answer rates are going to go through the roof. Now, the best time frame to contact a lead is within 5 minutes. I'm not going to go over all of these little data points that are below here, but you guys, it astronomically changes your business. The level of leads that are going to answer the phone and the level of leads that you're going to be able to qualify. If you're contacting them within 5 minutes of that lead hitting your database, those numbers are going to go through the roof. And then the sweet spot for converting leads is to make at least 6 call attempts. This study actually goes in and shows that if you make 6 calls to every single one of your leads over the course of a 20-day period, that your likelihood of getting that lead on the phone, having contact with them, finding out what their wants and needs are, and beginning to qualify them are actually 90%. Now, one thing that really catches my eye, and we can see this because we've worked with thousands and thousands of agents, not just with Be Known Advertising and Leads to ROI. I am an ex-Zillow employee, and I've worked with thousands and thousands of the top teams around the nation. And I can tell you from the experience that I have in this industry, that this number is very true and accurate. Roughly 80% of agents and sales reps stop reaching out to their leads after only 3 call attempts. And at that 3 call attempts, you have roughly about a 30% rate of getting those leads on the phone and having a connection and a conversation so that you can begin to qualify. Now, I think it's safe to say everybody on this webinar would prefer to have a 90% answer rate from your contacts than a 30% answer rate. And what it boils down to is just that little bit of extra effort and doubling the number of calls that you guys are putting out to these leads from the time they hit your database until you get them on the phone. So that is definitely a piece where we make sure that every single one of our ISAs, our appointment setters, when they're calling for our agents, they put at least 6 dials in to every single lead, whether that's a buyer, a seller, for sale by owner, expired, canceled listing, withdrawn listing. And very, very soon, we're going to have a huge foreclosure market hit. We need to focus on those list pendencies. And we also need to focus on the pre-foreclosures and the foreclosures so that we can short sale those folks' homes and not put them into some serious credit problems in the future.
Brian, let me give you 2 examples. To prove this out, earlier this year, I did an ad on Facebook for one of my listings. Brian, I generated 38 buyer leads, like $1.78 a lead, names, phone numbers, emails. And you know what? I didn't call any of them. I got goose egg. I didn't convert one. Now, a couple months later, I ran another ad on one of my listings. Not only did I get leads, but I called them immediately, and I got a hold of one individual who's unrepresented. Within minutes of him calling in, I was able to write a contract for him on one of my listings, and I made almost 20 grand on it. Tale of 2 cities. Bunch of leads came in. Happy day. Thank you, Jesus. Didn't call him. Goose egg. Over here, called the lead, got a contract, 20 grand in the bank. So those numbers do work. And unfortunately for real estate agents, we get busy doing things and not concentrating on the business at hand. And that's getting contracts done. So that is actually true. That's a real life example of what happened to me this year.
Yeah. And guys, if you're, doing something else in the background, maybe not truly focused on the webinar at this exact moment, at least listen to that statistic. If you call somebody at least 6 times, you have 90% more of a chance to reach them. Okay. 90%. That is huge. And these aren't just random studies. These are by Harvard and MIT. Okay. So great statistics, awesome stuff. Brian, keep on rocking.
Absolutely. So everybody, what is our proven process that we ask our agents to follow and we put in front of every agent that joins our platform? So it's unique outreach campaigns that include call campaigns. Call within 2 minutes if you absolutely can. I know I said 5 minutes earlier, but at that 2-minute mark, it increases even more your likelihood of getting that lead on the phone, and placing a minimum of 6 call attempts. Now, you also want to make sure that you have campaigns with at least 7 touches with text messages over a 20-day period. And the best practices include video text messages. And a little hint, that's something you can do within our platform. Now, video text message is something as simple as putting your phone in front of you and saying, hey, thank you so much for reaching out to me on Facebook. I'm a local real estate professional, and my goal is to make sure that I can assist you with your home buying and selling needs. I am more than happy to answer any question that you have, and I'm so happy to connect with you. And then go ahead and end it. That's literally all you have to do. Just put your phone in front of your face, shoot a quick video, and do that. Do 7 different videos with that video, or 7 different videos to send out in text, so that you can send those out over a course of 20 days. Conversion rates start moving up. Next is going to be email campaigns with at least 60 touches inside of 180 days. And the best practices, again, So include video emails and sending those videos out in those emails. And surprise, surprise, you can do that in our platform. Save search alerts. This is something that we highly recommend agents to automate. So if you're running an ad on Facebook and you're finding out how many beds, how many baths, what the desired price range that lead is looking for, there's several systems out there. Well, actually only a handful of systems out there that you can automate this within. We just created a partnership with an IDX provider, and this is something that is going to be launched within Leads to ROI very, very soon, within the next month. This is something that's coming, and we have verified and we have tested. We can automate save search alerts. We can automate recently sold properties and pending properties so that you can keep those in front of your potential sellers so they can keep an eye out on the market, because those homes that recently sold in their neighborhood directly impact the value of the home that they're trying to sell as well. Retargeting campaigns are extremely important. Once you get a lead, it's not just going to be your text, your calls, your emails that is going to be your important levels and means of follow-up. It really boils down to staying in front of them everywhere they go and making sure that you are in front of that client, whether it's on their Facebook, their Instagram, in their inbox for text, in their emails. Make sure that you are in front of that client, and their call logs, of course, as well. Social outreach, again, this really kind of boils back into retargeting campaigns, but you can also send that individual a friend request on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn and start messaging them on those platforms. So converting your leads is key to the health of your business and the growth of your business. We want to make sure that you guys have every single aspect covered in what you do. Mail campaigns. Now, a lot of agents out there focus on FSBOs, canceled, expireds, withdrawn so that they can win listings. I know Kelly has won an additional $80,000 in gross commissionable income this year from running unique selling propositions to those specific sets of sellers: FSBOs, canceled, expireds, and withdrawns. Now, Kelly, how important is mail, sending a postcard, in your campaign and your level of conversion with those leads?
Well, let me put it this way. None of the $80,000 in GCI just off of FSBOs this year. I've got a guy on my team, Brian, 250K GCI in 12 months. All he does is FSBOs and direct mail. None of his and none of mine were a direct result of a cold call. I'm not against cold call, and we should be doing everything. I'm just saying to you, with direct mail, if done properly to the right client with the right offers, will convert like nothing you've seen outside of somebody calling the lead and setting up the appointment. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And also with those mail campaigns, would you give you guys, I believe it's 15 or is it 16 now, Kelly? Postcards.
Say that again.
What was postcards are we giving out?
I've got 16 free, and I'm working on some other ones, and these cover FSBOs, expired, sellers, buyers, and I'm working on pre-foreclosures.
Absolutely. So we've got 16 free postcards that go out with those mail campaigns. Those are all tried and true things that have been tested and have been used, and everything in our platform is something that we have gone through, made sure that it works, make sure that it converts before we ever put it out to anyone. And then the next thing is to make sure that every single call is followed up with a text and an email. That is extremely important, and it also increases your chance of getting a response back from that lead. Now, here are some follow-up statistics that may begin to bore everybody, but it's important to pay attention to these things because this is really boiling down to the key metrics and the key performance indicators that can help you take your business from good to great. So only 2% of cold calls result in an appointment. Now, the majority of our agents, the leads that you guys are getting definitely aren't cold, and your outreach isn't going to be cold. But I want to make sure that these statistics are kind of ingrained in you so that you know what to expect if you start calling those FSBOs, canceled, expireds yourself. Only 2% of cold calls result in an appointment. Agents have to dial 6 or more times on average to connect with a prospect. And that goes back to that 80 or that 90% likelihood of getting that lead on the phone if you call them 6 times. Now, agents who believe that cold calling is no longer effective experience 42% less growth than those who believe otherwise. Ooh. I know that there's a ton of gurus out there that are telling you not to call your leads, not to cold call. It's just a way to get your foot in the door with their program It doesn't actually have anything backed by science, data, or any kind of actual practice that's been put into place. It's to get your foot in the door into their webinar. So if you believe in calling and you actually pound the phones and start putting those dials in, you're going to increase the growth of your business at a rapid rate. Agents that have a prioritized list of prospects are 19% more likely to call leads within 5 minutes and 26% more likely to make the call within the first hour. That's what our system is all about. Organizing your database so that you know exactly who you need to call and when, or having your ISAs do it for you. And then you can also use that organized database when you go into a listing presentation. Now, I know Kelly has been using this for quite some time because he's been with our program for a long time and baited this. How many listings have you walked into, Kelly, where you've actually showcased your database and said, hey, I've got 100+ buyers right here that are looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house that's between 300 and 350K, this square footage, and they're looking to move right now? How often have you used that in a listing presentation?
Well, since you and I started talking about that, I've implemented that within my listing presentation. And can I tell you, nobody here locally, and I've got power agents with franchise brokers crushing it, none of them use that in their presentation. So I would say that since that came into the paradigm of what I'm doing on my listing presentation, it's enhanced. It's enhanced the ability for me to actually stand apart. What I always tell people, Brian, if everybody's over here doing this, oh, here's a comp, here's a comp, here's a comp. I think your home should sell for this because of location. I'm over here talking, hey, look, we've got buyers lined up. We're ready to go, right? It just makes you, the agent, seem so much more professional.
You don't just you got money in it.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So next is going to be 7.5 minutes as the average length of a cold call that successfully moves on to the next stage or a meeting. So while I was at Zillow, I got the opportunity to listen in on our concierge program. And once Zillow hands that phone over to an agent, and then what the agent does with it, the most successful agents on those calls kept that lead on the phone and they built rapport with them. I can't tell you how important it is to build rapport with your leads, because if they start to get to know you and they start to trust you, their shield comes down, they put their sword away, and now they're not fighting you anymore. They're working with you so that they can sell their home. So it's very important to build rapport, find out their wants and needs, really start to dig into what is motivating them to move, and then get the appointment. Learn as much as you can about your lead before going for the appointment so that you can make them feel like you are a trusted individual and someone that they want to work with. And 67% of the time, if you're the first agent to reach out to them, they're going to work with you. Now, the next portion of this, we're going to cover 93% of the potential success of your follow-up call is attributed to your tone of voice during the conversation. Now, I've actually recently in doing a training, I've done a ton of trainings recently. I had one where I was completely just dog tired and I was monotonous. I didn't have any pep in my step. And a couple of our agents that were in our program actually reached out to us and gave me some very, very valuable constructive criticism. They let me know that I was very boring during that training. I hit home all the points. I got everything across that I needed to get across, but I was so tired and I was just dragging butt. I was just boring. So it's extremely important to make sure that you are inflection or using your inflection, changing your tone, and also match talking and mimicking and mirroring that potential lead. If you get them on the phone and they're hyped and they're jacked to be on the phone, you got to step that level up and be hyped and jacked too. If you get on the phone and they're kind of slow speaking, and you slow that cadence down so you can match and mirror them so they can resonate better with you. So just a couple of additional points to throw in there, and a little humility point for myself. Stating the reason of your outreach, the reason that your call can boost your success by 2.1 times. So we're not just calling you for any reason. We're calling because you filled out a form on Facebook. This is the information that you provided. I wanted to make sure that I'm speaking with the right person. Start your calls by reaching out to those that you most recently spoke with. This is extremely important. This boils down to getting the marbles out of your mouth when you're going through your progression of calling your leads. So I always start my day when I'm making any kind of a call block time. I start with follow-up first. That way I can kind of warm the vocal cords up, get myself into a rhythm and get moving. And then I start going for those cold leads. Because if I get myself in that rhythm and I get rocking and rolling, by the time I get to the cold leads, I'm on point and I'm going to be able to sell the sizzle and get those folks on board. Use their name throughout the entire call. If they use professional credentials, use those professional credentials. So if you have a doctor, make sure that you're calling them by their professional credential. It's going to boost their ego. And again, it's going to help build trust and bring that shield down. Now, what if you are an extremely busy agent and do not have the time to actively follow up with all of your prospects? We provide a simple solution for booking on your calendar with leads that are looking to buy or sell. Our premium package includes appointment setters that will call all of your leads more than 6 times to generate calendar bookings. So this is on our premium package. We have a team of ISAs, cold callers that are going to set the appointments for our agents and get them on your calendar.
Brian, let me ask everybody listening right now, do me a favor, guys, those that are with us, drop on the chat bar, yes or no, and be honest, because Santa Claus is coming in a couple months. And if you're not honest, you're not going to get a good present. How many of you really actively either call all your leads, like you're on it, you're calling them, or maybe the better question is, how many of you actually like calling all these leads that you get or any leads that come in? Do y'all really like doing it? Be honest, yes or no? Rick, no. That's what I thought. And we've done our math. We've done our stats. We know exactly what's going on. We can put the biggest buffet of leads in front of any agent. And we can lead that agent to the water of prosperity. Ooh, I'm preaching now. But if you don't do the work to get them on the phone or to get them to reach back out to you, then those leads really mean nothing. So Brian, this is exactly what I wanted to hear. Agents want to have appointments, but gosh darn it, the majority of agents aren't making those phone calls, and that's why they're suffering. So I'm glad that I asked that question, because it really is an indication of a much broader problem, and that is crushing them phones. So anyway, all right, Brian, I just wanted to ask that.
A lot of great responses there too.
There is
a lot of no's, but there's a few people, they enjoy it, but there's a lot of randomness to it. And I also saw one, not really, but it's part of the job, right?
That's right.
Hate the rejection. Yeah.
Do we still got Brian with us?
Oh, looks like we lost Brian there for a second.
All right. Brian will join us back. Join us back in a minute. So guys, the big thing is
I just made it back in, guys.
There you go.
I'm getting new internet in my area, so I'm gonna be switching over soon. But about this time is when all the kids get home from school and everybody turns on Netflix or YouTube, so it ends up killing my stream sometimes, unfortunately.
So Brian, I asked the question, how many of you agents really do call your leads? I mean, to a T, virtually everybody. No. Do you like calling your leads? No. There's one that said yes. No, but we have to. Unfortunately, no, not particularly, but it's part of the job. I don't mind it. It's, everybody's saying exactly what we know based on our market statistics. So I wanted them to answer that before you jumped into here, because I think that is why we did what we did and why we put the solution together, is because we want to take that off if they want the shoulder of the agent and get them booked appointments.
Absolutely.
Anyway, share your screen again.
And get the business rolling into you. Okay, so what do we offer in our package? And this is in our premium package. This is where you guys get the full meal deal. Number one is going to be ISAs that call and book appointments on your behalf. And again, they're going to call each one of those leads at least 6 times. The goal is to get them on the phone inside of a 5-minute window. And in most cases right now, our team is doing that within 2, giving you the best probability of getting that lead onto your calendar. Consistent buyer and seller lead generation that boils down to having a consistent flow of leads into your pipeline. We have worked with some of the largest, latest, and greatest tech companies in the game for real estate that want to help all of you guys grow your business. and we've integrated several of them into our platform. And we go through rigorous testing to make sure that we've got the right platforms here for you guys. So we've got some awesome lead generation systems that are in here that are built in. We dump FSBOs and expired leads daily into your CRM, into your database, where you guessed it, the ISAs are calling them, they're following up, they're working them. They're also getting emails, they're getting text messages, and they're being followed up with. And we also reference the DNC to make sure we're not getting you in any trouble. Now, we automate those texts and emails and campaigns. We have an auto dialer so that you can stay on top of your leads. You guys have the option. Now, it really is kind of a 50-50. Some agents, when their leads come in, they really want to get a phone call from the system. Just press 1 and call that lead automatically. Other agents like to actually set up particular block times so that you guys can call those leads. And again, with the ISAs, you don't have to worry about making the calls. It's just something that's included so that if you do want to put some dials in yourself, you can go ahead and do that. All right, so the manual action puts those leads into an auto dialer. You push one button and it just goes down the list and calls one lead after the next. All right, the next thing that you guys get is going to be call scripts that are dynamic to each lead, providing pertinent details from that lead to convert at a high level. So the number of beds and baths they're looking for in a home, the price range that they want when they're looking to move, what their time frame to move is. You can use all of that information in that call to start building rapport and getting that appointment booked. We also have a calendar system that is synced with your existing calendar. So this way it eliminates double bookings, right? So it's a two-way sync. You have a doctor's appointment that you put on your calendar for Wednesday at 12 o'clock. Wednesday at 12 o'clock is no longer available for our ISAs or for yourself to book an appointment with your leads. Because again, we don't want to double book. We don't want to put you into a predicament. We want to help you close those leads down. And an automated appointment reminder campaigns, including texts and emails. I know everybody on this call received text messages and emails alerting you guys and letting you know of the meeting. We do the exact same thing for you guys with your new upcoming appointments to make sure that you get the best show rate. Now, of course, we've got proof that what we do is awesome, and we have tons and tons of great reviews in Be Known Advertising, which of course is the parent company to Leads to ROI. And we have helped thousands of agents grow their business, and we've got tons and tons of happy clients. Now, I'm going to give you guys a link at the end of this to go ahead and book a time to meet with our dedicated sales staff. But at this point in time, I'd like to pass the baton over to William, who is going to give you guys a walkthrough on our platform and really do a deep dive into what we do and what we have to offer.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. My name is William. So this is our platform called Leads to ROI, and I'm really excited to show it to you today. This is something that we have worked on for an entire year building. And as Brian mentioned earlier, we truly have got together with some of the best real estate platforms on the market so that we could integrate the best things, the best lead sources, the coolest stuff. And we tested all of these things for a long time before we integrated them into this platform. So to show you real quick, this is your dashboard. Every time you log in, this is what you'll see. You can see here the opportunities section is going to tell you how many leads you have in the platform. And we have the funnels here just showing you some of your lead in, responded, appointments, etc. The manual action section ties in with what Brian was just talking about with how you have an auto dialer and you can actually go through and call your leads. So one of the cool things that we did is we actually have a section where all of our lead sources are pulled in, and those leads are automatically added to the manual actions section. And so I can show you a little bit more in depth that right here under the contact and smart list section. So every lead will get pulled into this manual actions section where you can just click the Let's Start button and it will call through all of your leads. So that's a really awesome feature. You can select which campaign that you want to do that from. So that's a cool section. If you've got maybe you want to just call the FSBOs, you can select that and just call the FSBOs, etc. So a lot of organization in here. My favorite part is the conversations tab. This is a really, really cool section. And we wanted to make sure that no matter what source these messages were coming from, you weren't going to miss it. So in doing so, we added Google My Business. There's texting, calling, emails, websites, chat widgets. WhatsApp is going to be integrated here very shortly. All of your lead sources are, Facebook Messenger and Instagram as well. So all of your messaging all in one place, you're not going to miss them anymore. Opportunities. This is a really cool section. And what we did here was we dwindled it down to a buyer pipeline and a seller pipeline. And then we also have a pipeline for the FSBO canceled, expired, and withdrawn leads and direct mailers. So there's a pipeline for those, but we have our buyer and our seller pipelines. And you can see here, there's lead in, there's responded, appointment, and client. So the lead automatically comes in under this category. And if that lead responds, it's going to automatically be moved into the responded stage. And then if that lead that responded schedules an appointment with you, it's going to then move to the appointment stage. The only stage that you have to move it is the client stage. So all of this is automated up until the last client stage. Now, we have added in a workflow builder, and this is
if I could throw in one more point on that last one, William.
Yeah.
So as soon as you guys finish that lead and they are closed, you actually have the ability to log them as one, which will add them into your conversion on your main dashboard, and will show your conversion rate on all of your leads so that you know exactly how many leads you have won. And then you can also plug in a lead value, which I recommend using your commissionable income. So if you're doing one side of a transaction, in most markets, we're still at 3%, some 2.5%, some 2%, but you can throw in your actual gross commissionable income that's coming in on this. I would highly recommend this on every single lead so that you guys can start calculating how much future income you have in that pool of leads.
Absolutely. And guys, that will also reflect on your dashboard with the conversion rates and money that you're making. So now the workflow section, this is essentially, I like to explain it. This is a visual campaign builder. So this is a mixture of triggers and campaigns, and it's presented in such an easy way that you can pull in your campaigns into one place, but there's also some of the most in-depth automations inside of here that I've ever seen on any system, not to gloat here. But we've got features like Google My Business missed call text back. So for example, we have integrations with Google My Business, so you can automate sending out your own review requests. And in here, we have a feature so that if you don't answer the phone when somebody calls your Google My Business, it's going to automatically text that person a response so that you don't miss that lead. Now we have a bunch of different a bunch of different workflows that are built in here. We have the buyer workflow and the seller workflow. We designated these easily labeled so that you knew if you're running a buyer campaign, you select this workflow. If you're running a seller campaign, you run this workflow. So these are very in-depth campaigns, and I know Brian went into that a little bit as well. Now I'm going to jump back into here and show you guys some of the more awesome stuff.
To add one more thing on there in the workflows, William. So there's also some extremely exciting things that we can do in here, such as soon as you have a lead that comes in from a particular source, we can add that lead to an audience inside of Facebook so that we can specifically target those folks on Facebook. So let's say that we designate this out based off of FSBO canceled, expired, and withdrawn. How powerful do you guys feel it would be to deliver a message directly to a FSBO on Facebook that has just put their home on the market, or someone whose listing just got canceled or just expired in the MLS? Their home's been on the market for 3 months and it didn't sell. A custom tailored message via a Facebook campaign to those individuals is a super easy thing to do with our platform. And it all boils down to taking those leads as they come in and putting them into the appropriate buckets. Because again, the follow-up isn't just your calls, your texts, your emails. It's also boiling down to your social outreach and being able to get in front of those folks on the platforms that the average consumer of the US spends around 2 hours a day on at this point in time. So William, I'll let you keep going. Thanks for letting me jump in.
All right, guys. So we've got a lot of awesome stuff under the marketing section. We've got campaigns. We have over 30 campaigns. And we have spent a lot of time truly perfecting these. We've personalized these so that it doesn't sound like a bot. And we have some really high response rates on all of these campaigns. So a lot of amazing campaigns that you can choose to run for any of these lead sources. We've got 4 seller campaigns there. We've got 6 buyer campaigns there. We've got the A, B, and C buyer lead campaigns up here that are for different time frames. The list goes on and on. There's also a campaign for every single funnel type. So we really did justice with this. That was one thing we wanted to make sure we drove home. There's some really amazing stuff in here that I'm not going to get into, but we've got form builders and survey builders. There's an HTML builder. So you can literally copy HTML code from the Facebook builder that we have and paste it in, and you can build your own newsletters with a click of a button. So some really amazing stuff. We've got full reporting for your Google ads and Facebook ads. And as Brian was talking about with KPIs, your key performance indicators, you can actually check your call reporting, your agent reporting, and appointment reporting. So
this is my favorite part. Willie, can you open this? This is literally my favorite part. If you can open up the call reporting for me. So right now, this is the account that we create for all of our agents. And when you get a new account, you get a copy or a clone of this account. So we don't actually dial out of this account. We don't call out of this account. But if you look in the top right corner, Willie, and click on filters for me. So as you guys can see, you can put date ranges in. You can actually select specific filters in here. So let's say you wanted to go in and see what dials those ISAs made, or an agent that's on your team, and you want to go and listen into some of their calls and see how they're doing. You can actually put in a minimum call duration. So let's just say if you wanted to put 60 seconds for a minimum call duration, you could then go in and listen to the recordings of their calls and help actively coach those agents. Now, we do 2 live trainings every single week that all of our users are invited to. They're on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And during those live trainings, we have agents that'll shout out from time to time and say, hey, can you listen to this call and help me overcome this objection? I love that stuff. I'm more than happy to dive in and help agents overcome objections and really break down that call so that we can help you guys get through everything. But this is also a great way to determine whether or not you have an agent that's on your team. If you're not using ISAs, if you have an agent that's on your team that is lacking on the phones, we can see that data and we can maybe start weaning down the number of leads that we're providing to that agent and start shoveling them over to the agents that are putting in the dials, putting in the time, and putting in the focus. Because if you're a broker or you're an owner or a team lead and your agents aren't putting in the dials, you are wasting money on your advertising. And we need to appropriate those dollars where they're going to make sense and build you a return on investment. So I'm a super nerd when it comes to numbers and data, because that's how I've always calculated my income. So that's why I'm so excited about this portion. Willie, I'll let you keep going. Thanks for letting me jump in again.
Yep. So guys, in here we have the scheduling section. This has direct integration with your Google. So if you're using Google for your calendar, this has 2-way syncing. So that way you are never going to get double booked. If you book it on your personal calendar, it will sync with this calendar. If you sync it on here in the platform, it's going to check for conflicts on your personal Google Calendar. So that's an awesome setup right there. And you can check your appointments listed in here as well. Here's the reputation section. So this is for your Google My Business. And this green button right here that says check in client, this is where you can also send out review requests to your clients. So just with a click of a button, this big green button up in the top left, I can type in their name, I can type in their email or phone number and click send, and it will send out a review invite to your Google My Business immediately. And if there's one thing that I know, you can get free growth by running your Google My Business. And if you don't have a Google My Business, you need to get one, because you would be completely surprised if you, all you have to do after this webinar is open up an incognito window and search for a real estate agent in your city. And I want you to look and see how many 5-star reviews you need to have in order to beat out the town. Okay. Because in order to be on page number 1, there's a lot of cities out there that people don't take Google My Business seriously. And if you set yours up, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised just to see that even you, with 3 reviews, have 100 people that viewed your Google My Business this month and you didn't even know it. Okay. Now, if you are able to beat out somebody who only has 10 reviews or 15 reviews, suddenly you're on page 1 and you're getting organic reach and people calling you just because you decided to push your reviews. So something really important that I always like to stress to agents, especially when I onboard them with Leads To ROI. Now, moving on.
One of our agents actually did just that, and she sent a review request out to about 100 of her local peers. She was a brand new agent. How many reviews did she have within a week?
Over 30.
Over 30 reviews within a week using this tool. So it's extremely powerful. It's going to bring you to the top of that search when somebody looks for a real estate agent in your marketplace. And it's going to get you free buyers and sellers reaching out to you based off of good reviews. Everybody focuses on reviews today.
Yep, absolutely. When you go and you look up a restaurant, what do? You search on Google and you look at the reviews. That's what we do nowadays. So especially as time goes on, that's just going to be more and more of the larger thing to do. Now, as far as SEO, this is a platform called Yext, and this is search engine optimization. So this pushes out your personal data to over 150 search engines. This is an add-on feature that is currently $49 a month, and you can choose to use that if you want in our platform. I'm going to jump into some of the other integrations here in a second, but I do want to show you real quick the funnels. We have created over 15 funnels for you into the platform. So we have a funnel for every campaign type you could ever think of. So there's really, the sky's the limit with these. You can personalize these. This is essentially ClickFunnels, but it's rebuilt, and it's our version of ClickFunnels, but very in-depth, very strategic. And there's just a lot of awesome stuff in here. Now, the other things that we decided to build out.
Click one on just so we can see what it looks like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just.
So we don't, this isn't set up with
okay.
But this is what it would look like. It's just, it won't have the custom branding at the end. So when we do an onboard for you, you actually submit your logo and your headshot, and then at the end of the funnels, there's custom branding because of the coding that we built in. So your photo and your headshot automatically gets pulled into this data, but just simple landing pages. That's what funnel is built for. You want it to be quick to the point. You want people to just click a button, submit your info. It's just like a lead form on Facebook, except for it's here on a funnel. So there are a ton of different funnels to choose from here. We've got a seller home value funnel. Absolutely. Find out your home worth, etc. So a lot of different funnels to go through there. For closed property list, we've got real estate investing. We buy houses. We've got tons of stuff. Individual listing funnel. So if you want to promote your own listing, there's that as well. But some of the cool stuff that we've done is added in a buyer and seller call script, as mentioned earlier. So this will be, there will be an actual customized link that will be added to every single lead that comes into your system. And this adds in custom objection handlers. There's sections for you to read off. These are custom scripts that we've built. And then there's also some note sections. So you can actually ask questions and submit. And these will actually add to the note section for that contact. And then after you've logged those notes, you're going to push for an appointment, aren't you? Right? That's what we want. That's what we're shooting for. So we can actually speak and click to sync to their calendar, to your calendar, I should say, excuse me. So you can actually log that to your calendar. And this is the same thing that our ISAs would do for you as well. They're going to push that call script. They're going to use the pertinent information that we used from those lead forms. They're going to schedule those appointments for you, and you're going to get notified of it.
The ISA script is a little bit different from the agent script, but that's because we don't want anybody to get in any trouble. Our ISAs are not licensed, and so there's certain questions that they can't ask. But the cool thing is they can confirm the data that's already been provided. So I just want to make sure that we have that, make sure that's crystal clear. They're not using that exact script to call, because that one's designed for y'all as the agents. But it's the same principle.
Now, who here is paying for Calendly? Who here is paying for BombBomb? Who's here paying for voicemail drop? Who here is paying I could probably go on and on, but those are the few that come to my brain here. Anybody paying for those right now? No, no, no. Sue says she is. Okay. Well, we got another yes.
We're kind of 50-50 on this one.
Yeah, we are. But hey, guess what, guys? It's free in our platform anyways. There's all of those features already added in. We don't charge extra. So
Calendar tool replaces Calendly. I think it's a more streamlined, simplistic calendar that has that two-way sync and just plugs directly into your books. What we do is when we have you fill out your onboarding form, we grab a professional headshot from you, and we also grab your logo. And so right there where you see that gentleman's photo, your photo will actually automatically appear there on your landing page as soon as you fill out that form and get onboarded with us. And your name will show where it says Leads to ROI Real Estate right there. So it's all automated, ready to rock for you, and dialed in so that we can help you guys see success.
now, what's that?
Oh, I just had a question on Calendly, because I know I was just setting mine up last night, believe it or not. And you get one, they say you get one free, and then you can upgrade to like a pro version. I mean, what is this? How does this relate to this program?
You can get as many calendars as you want with our platform. We're separate from Calendly. We just have a calendar booking system that's built in that can.
Oh, it's not the same. Oh, okay.
No, it's not Calendly. It's similar. It's our own version. I personally think it's better because it two-way syncs with the calendar and all that good stuff. And then as soon as somebody books on here, it alerts inside of the system and sends out those appointment reminders automatically. So it's all just built into one place.
Yep. And it's two-way synced with your Google as well. So that way, if you're using your Google for your business, you'll know. Now, the next section in here that I'm going to talk about before moving on to integrations is the website. So I'm just going to skim over this real quick. We just created our partnership with the IDX provider that we're going to be using. And so we are launching our websites very shortly. We're super excited about it, and it's going to be really awesome. The saved search alerts, all those great options are going to be there. People are going to be able to search for homes. They'll get a list of homes, tons of awesome stuff. And we're excited to launch that here in the near future. Now, the bread and butter is the integrations. In here, we have integrations with listings to leads, mailbox power, My Plus leads. We use Remine, whole ton of awesome integrations in here. And we actually offer a ton of these integrations for free for signing up with certain packages.
With the premium package, we provide you guys with listings to leads, mailbox power, and My Plus leads at no cost to you. So
Yep.
we actually cover the cost on those. We incur that cost for you. So that way you only have to pay one bill, and we make things super simple. And then we have a direct integration with all three of those companies, so that we can make sure that when you have a lead that comes in, auto mailers are going out. We can make sure that as soon as a FSBO hits the market, it hits your database so that you can start following up with those leads. And then as you have a new listing that comes onto the market, you have a full suite of marketing materials that are right there at your fingertips. And that's actually what I'd love for you to show them, is the listings to leads, because
If
this
you're-
platform
So if you already have those three, does it just get more moved over, or how does that?
If you already have those three, meet with us. We'll give you a discount on the product. Keep those going, because especially if you've signed up through someone like Kelly or something like
It's
that.
Kelly's fault. On two of them.
Let us know. We will
If you're already
discount the-
Or if we want to screw over Kelly, can we do something different? No.
Don't screw over Kelly. But you can absolutely just let us know that you have those products. We can discount it, and then we can do the connection on the back end without our
Okay.
internal connection that we already have. So we'll take care of you if you've already got them, and we'll just discount those off the top of the price.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So guys, if you haven't been in the listings to leads lately, they just added in a new listings section. And this is really cool. Let me actually jump into somebody else's account. I don't know if I have permission for them. So let's log into our master account. So in the listings section, you can actually grab a listing, and all you need is the MLS listing ID, and you need the zip code for that listing. And what you can do is you can actually choose, let's see here, Manny never cares. Okay, so what you can do is click to market this listing, and it's going to auto generate all of these things here for you. So you have an electric, excuse me, you have a pretty amazing.
So excited.
Yeah, it's electric. So this auto populates a YouTube listing video for you. It creates postcards and door hangers, open house sign-in forms, a virtual tour. It actually creates a whole freaking website for you. It's absolutely amazing. And these websites, you can choose from a luxury website or a regular lead generation website. The lead generation is built specifically to drive people to meet with you. And as you can see here, it's going to ask them to continue with Facebook or use their email instead. Again, it's going to try to capture their information. But the amazing part about this is the Facebook ads section. So all you have to do is click that grab, and it auto generates an entire Facebook ad for you. And guys, when we were building out our CRM, we knew we wanted to incorporate Facebook advertising. And we saw this, and it was why even bother trying to fight them? These guys are already rocking with it. So why not just give the best to our users? Why wouldn't we? And
Really, let me say this. In the
yeah.
day, it used to take me 30 plus minutes to create this type of ad with the graphics, with the copy, all of the stuff needed to implement and launch the ad. And if I happen to forget clicking special ad category, I run into the risk. Number one, ad gets declined. If I do it too much, they could ban my Facebook page. Here, in 1 minute, I can create a highly targeted Facebook ad done for me, launched, and I don't have to worry. I've never had an ad run from them get declined from Facebook. They're usually up within an hour generating leads that day. And I've never had that experience on my own as a professional marketer, putting ads out that were that quickly approved by Facebook and getting leads. So it is a really great tool, literally launching ads in 1 minute or less.
Yeah, and the beauty of that is that, guys, they actually have an app with Facebook. And so this is part of the reason why these things the ads are pushed live immediately. It's because they have a trusted app with Facebook. They have over 18,000 users. It's a great price point, and it also helps with placements. Okay, so when you start having an app that is that trusted, the AI is going to naturally have higher placements for those. I can tell you, I can run the exact same ad from somebody else's account, and you're getting leads at $5 a lead, but you run it through Listings to Leads and you're getting leads for $1.50. Okay.
To be a little more boring on this and dry. So it boils down to the cost per market, which with Facebook, in terms of Facebook, it's your cost to get in front of 1,000 people, or your cost for 1,000 impressions. And so
CPM.
with an account that isn't warmed up, or if you've made some mistakes, your cost per market increases. Because we're using an app, this is technically an app that has a direct integration with Facebook. You guys come through with the top of the line score for running that advertisement, because they've gone through all of the checks and balances to make sure that when this ad goes live with Facebook, that it meets all of that criteria. So in some markets, we've seen agents have a $16 cost per market to get 1,000 impressions out there of their ad. And in coming through with the Listings to Leads ad, we've seen that drop down to $4 cost per market, which is a 4-time lower cost to run your ads and generate buyers and sellers. So it's yeah, I'm a nerd about this stuff.
Absolutely, guys. And so there's, again, it auto populates social media posts. So you can connect your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Twitter, and your Instagram. And you can set up auto posting for seller lead ads. You can, there's just a whole ton, new construction, amazing stuff. So that is just what you can do with the listing side. And to be forward, the listing side is actually what our clients have seen the highest performance of. We have people, they started running ads, and in the first week they generated 2 listings, right? We have people that in their first 2 weeks generating buyers. So the listings so far is what people have seen the highest performance from, but there are also some really amazing options for the PDF reports. So I personally really love these, because these are custom branded to you, number one. Number two, they're a really in-depth PDF that truly you're giving something to somebody. You're not just taking somebody's information and they know that you're just taking their information, right? You're actually giving something to somebody of importance. It's to help them learn. And so in my mind, these have some awesome meaning to them as well. So there's 25 seller and 25 buyers. So that's Listings to Leads, guys. And that's just a basic overview of that.
I've got one more thing to share on here with Listings to Leads. If you could jump back over to the listings and the marketing, you guys, I want to show you some really powerful stuff that you guys can do. So you remember earlier when I was telling you guys about your database and how we're going to capture the number of beds and baths those buyers are looking for, and their time frame to purchase, and the price range that they want to be within. Now, let's say that you go into a listing and you use that data and you show off on your app on your cell phone how many buyers that you have that are looking for their exact house. And the first thing that you can do, and let's just say that let's take this 1675 Whiting Street, Palm Bay, Florida. Can we just click on market listing here? Now, one of the very first things that you guys can do is click on this e-flyer for seller SOI. So, or the e-flyer for your database, excuse me. So click on if you could click on the e-flyer for your database, just below the nearby homeowners letter, you can go ahead and click on this, and you could actually copy the code from this, plug it directly into Leads to ROI, send this exact email out to your database within about 30 seconds of all of the buyers that are shopping for their exact home. Now, I don't know about you guys, but the amount of power that that's going to bring to your listing presentation, showing that potential seller that you've got 100 or 200 potential buyers that are looking for their exact house, their specifications, their beds, baths, the price range, and go ahead and plug that into an email and send that out to everybody to alert them about the new property that just hit the market, or if your MLS allows it, is coming soon to the market. That is absolutely huge. Willie, Control A.
Thank you. I was like,
A,
what's this?
And then delete. And then Control
There we go. All right.
There we go. Now that email is instantly updated and added in there. As you can see, there's a GIF with moving pictures. It kind of gives a brief slideshow. And then if they go ahead and click on that link, it's going to drive them directly to the website so that they can get more information on that property.
Brian, let me say this. Everybody that's listening right now live and those that listen to me after this is recorded, you guys that follow me know I love KV Core. I still use it. I love it. But I cannot do any of this in KV Core. This is taking your marketing to the next level in terms of what you can offer as a product to the end user. And that's hopefully somebody that you can get a listing from or under contract as a buyer. This stuff is absolutely stellar for your marketing.
And this is also a very, very good one, nearby homeowners. So you guys, for our premium package, for those that sign up for the cream of the crop package with the ISAs and everything included, we will do all of this marketing for you. If you have a new listing that's going to hit the market, let us know the address. We'll go in, we'll create the Facebook ads. We'll get the marketing materials together for you. We'll get them sent out. We'll start hitting your database with those that for the people that are most interested, all of that good stuff. We will take care of all of it for you. You just focus on the booked appointments. For agents that don't want to do the ISA side, don't worry. We have a package for everybody to where we can get you guys started and signed up, where you can start using all of these amazing tools and really start catapulting your business to the next level and putting that focus. So our packages range from $197 a month all the way up to $997 a month for individuals. And for teams of 10, we start at $997 a month and we go up to $29.97 per month. So that way we can make sure that we're servicing everybody's needs. So if you guys are looking to get started and join a program that's proven, we've got over 40 clients that have been testing this over the past 6 months. They're rocking and rolling with it. If you guys are looking for something that's proven, that is built by agents for agents, and that has a ton of really nerdy tech and data that is built into it from an ex-Zillow employee, go ahead and click on the link that is in your guys's chat window and book an appointment with our sales, and we can get you guys rocking and rolling and find a package that's right for you. Now, I do want to open up the floor and do a question and answer section where you guys can ask all the questions that you want, rapid fire, and we can answer back. So if anybody has questions, please feel free to use the raise hand function and we'll call on you one by one. If you don't know where that is, there's 3 dots next to your name. You can click the drop down there and it's kind of an emoji thing where you can put a hand up.
Do you want to unmute everybody?
It's like Sue has a question.
Yep. Hi, Sue. You're going to have to unmute her.
I got it. Okay. So with the integrations, if I had clients that I wanted to, or leads, let's say, send postcards out to, that their data from, like if they were FSBOs, then would integrate over to the postcard company, and then the postcards would go out that I wanted. Do I understand that correctly?
Correct.
Absolutely. So what we have is an agreement with Mailbox Power where we give you a free account to sign up, and the 4x6 postcards are free to you. There is going to be additional costs for sending that postage and for getting that postage out to them, but it's an extremely low cost for the postage. But let's say you wanted those FSBOs to automatically be sent a mailer. As soon as they hit a database, we have the connection created where it goes directly out to where that goes directly out to Mailbox Power and gets that mailer campaign started. Right now, we're sending out 4 mailers right out of the gate to those FSBOs, the cancels, the expireds, and the withdrawals. But we know that budget is something that's always a concern to agents, and why shouldn't it be? And so sometimes agents will choose, hey, I just want to send mailers out to the FSBOs, or I just want to send them out to the withdrawals. Completely up to you as to what you're looking for. Now, if
you guys have Mailbox Power now, just let us know, and we will make sure that we take care of you in the back.
We will go ahead and just create the connection to your current Mailbox Power.
And so
when
the
it
way
goes through us, we do cover the cost for you, but we do also get a little bit of a discounted rate with them as well. So Willie's going to show you guys how you can quickly determine which person, so this is a particular team that set it up where they want to choose who they send those mailers out to. And so
Yep.
this is a way that you can simply drag and drop an individual from one bucket to another bucket in a pipeline to send that mailer out. Now, don't do too many of these because we're going to be sending mailers on their behalf.
Yep. I'm just showing. All you guys have to do is, so you've got your FSBOs, your canceled, expired, withdrawn, all labeled out here. And all you would have to do is drag and drop that person into the mailer category. And so what we can do is we can set up a Zap that pulls this data into your mailbox power. So as long as you have a campaign that's created for that in your mailbox power, it will automate the entire process for you just by dragging. So pretty awesome little feature.
Can I ask another question?
Yeah.
Can I import potential leads, by a group, like segmenting them, and then send out mail postcards from there as well?
Absolutely. We can also integrate your leads. We can also integrate your leads that are coming in from any other lead source. So if you have leads coming from Zillow, Trulia, Realtorhomes.com, if you're running your own Facebook ads, or you're running ads through Google, or you want us to run ads through Google, we can import those leads directly into your database and create a unique follow-up system specifically for them.
And then have our people go ahead and contact those leads on your behalf and set appointments on your. Brian, can I tell them the quick story about my son and how powerful this is for getting appointments set? All right.
Absolutely. This falls in with a team that I've worked with for
So
several years.
guys, I do very well on my own, and I tell everybody I'm a full-time realtor, but I don't have to sell anything because I have several real estate businesses, so I do well. But my son blows me in the dust. But he doesn't know anything about lead generation. He is not a big cold caller, but he'll make almost 200 grand this year as an agent. Here's how he does it. He's with a team that has a system just like what we have, and they have an ISA, an inside sales team, that actually calls the leads coming in. And so what happens is he will wake up every morning and go and look at his calendar, and he'll look at what's booked for the week. And so he has been doing that for 2 years. Even though he makes 30% commission, he will never leave that. I can't get him to leave that job. He's making too much money. He goes, runs the appointment, does it, brings it in. So that's the power of having not only a good CRM and lead sources coming in, but also partnering with people that will actually get those appointments booked for you. So it's the tale of two cities. We can do real estate the way we've been doing it, or we do what we call scaling up our business. We scale this thing up. And once we predict the income, guys, now you really ramp it up. Now you go ahead and get as many leads in there as you can. And Brian, the last thing I'll say is this: when you do scale this, so in the next 6 months, you start to see more action going on. Brian, that's where they can bring on a listing agent on their team. You talk about rev share. If you're with, no matter what broker you're with, if they allow you to bring in agents on your team, this is the way, the door to open up for you to get so busy that you need to bring in an agent to be a listing agent, or you need to bring in a buyer agent to work, because you just simply can't get it done. That's how you run a business. And basically, this is like a business in a box. You guys don't have to go out and find people to do it. It's literally the ground's been plowed for you. And if you really want to grow your business, I don't see a way to do it any better than this.
Thank you, Kelly.
Any more questions?
No, that actually kind of, and to piggyback on that, when I was at Zillow, we had a couple of really, really smart guys that I worked with. And these two gentlemen were named Jason Gaspara and Lindsay Gudger. Lindsay Gudger and Jason Gaspara actually created their own real estate team under Zillow's nose and pitched them a program to where one agent would buy up a marketplace and Zillow would go and bring agents on for free to work and utilize those leads. What would happen is those agents would end up paying that whichever agent bought that market would end up paying them a 25% referral for every lead that they converted. So these two gentlemen built this huge real estate team. And after about 1.5 years of running this program with Zillow and piloting it and getting it up and running and off the ground and rocking and rolling, they said, all right, you guys, well, we decided that we're going to quit and launch our own real estate team. The very first team that came on board with this Blue Sky platform ended up being a team that was owned by them. And they went and launched their own real estate team once they left Zillow, rebranded as Every Door Real Estate. And they use a model that's very similar to what we're doing right now. They have 89 agents that are on their team. They've got a handful of ISAs that are calling every single one of their leads and booking appointments. And last year, you guys, they did over $1 billion in volume selling real estate. And this year they've pretty much come close to doubling those numbers so far this year. So this is a model that is proven. It has seen success industry wide from every agent that's ever stepped in, brought an ISA to the table, and has started focusing on booking appointments. As long as you have the right ISA with the right message and that can close those appointments down, you guys could wake up every day, check your calendar, find out how many appointments you have on the books, and just focus on closing down business.
Love it. Awesome webinar, Brian.
Who's got another question? It looks like.
Yeah, sorry. So you train the ISAs, right? It's not anybody we have to go train.
Absolutely. So we actually have a trainer that has been working as an ISA for 14 years and has helped agents convert their leads. He specifically calls and trains, does live trainings with our ISAs a couple of times per week. When we first bring on an ISA, they go through an extensive training program. We get them on the phone. We start to fine tune and refine their pitch and how they're going through it. And then once we have them ready, we have them start calling live leads for our agents so that they can book appointments for you. We have a 14-year experienced gentleman that is an absolute rock star ISA that will train every single one of our ISAs that we bring on board and get them ready to book appointments on your behalf.
And what would you say is typical ROI for an agent? Like, how many months would you be doing this until you're making a profit? Does that question make sense?
Absolutely. I mean, so here's the thing. I always say that you should expect profitability inside of a 6-month window, but I don't want you to feel that this is a get rich quick scheme. You may have a buyer that ends up getting booked right out of the gate and they're on your calendar, but with inventory being so low, you may search and put in offer after offer after offer for that buyer. And it may take 3 or 4 months for you to actually get that closing and get that commission check back. So I am by no means saying that, although we do have a ton of agents that will see an ROI month 1, I never set that as a return or as an expectation for your return on investment, because this market is crazy and it can take time for you to get those closings and those conversions. So I estimate that you will be profitable inside of a 6-month window and very, very happy with the platform. But I don't want anybody to think that they're going to sell a house the first month that they join us and that they're going to have a listing on their books. It very well could happen, but that's not an expectation I'm trying to set. This isn't a scam or a gimmick or a get rich quick scheme. And if any company ever tells you that they're going to guarantee a listing in your pipeline within the first month, it's probably BS, and you're probably going to be putting your money in a barrel and setting it on fire.
Yeah.
So
and honestly, Brian, we don't know these guys that are listening that are still with us. We don't know you for the most part. We don't know what your work ethic is. We don't know what your closing skills are. We don't know what your offers are. So the other thing, Brian, I don't know if we mentioned it. One of the benefits of coming on board is we actually do live coaching 2 days a week. So we might have a coaching on Tuesday. We'll call it Tech Tuesday. Hate to use that word, William, but anyway, we might have a Tech Tuesday where we're going to break down some nerdy tech crap for you guys. But then we're going to have a coaching on Thursday that we're going to talk offers. Like, what offers do you need to make to get deals? So if you're feeling weak in some areas, people are paying $500 to $5,000 for coaching with, these guys on YouTube that don't sell real estate anymore. I sell real estate. I'm on a coaching team. So you're going to get 2 days a week, on average, 1 to 2 hours per session of coaching to help you get up to a level that will help you. So to answer your question, Sue, we don't know what you're going to do. All we can do is bring you the steak. How you cook it is going to come to your skill level. And we also have programs for that to get you up in any skill levels that you need with offer training, closing techniques. We'll probably get the ISAs on the phone on one of our coaching to share with you what to say when and if you do talk to somebody. So again, it's not something we can predict and prophesy as to what you're going to do. It is something that we can tell you that as you gain your skill level, and if you're good now, you should do quite well.
So, and to piggyback on that, guys, we have our live trainings every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard. and these are all recorded. So we actually, here in the CRM, under the
They're all
integration.
very flattering photos of myself. If I'm not, it always catches me at the wrong time. My mouth is open. Anyways.
There is the live training recordings section right here. So you click that and that opens up our website here, which is where every single one of our trainings has been pre-recorded and is uploaded onto here. So if you're unavailable, you're not able to make it, you're out listing, you got a listing appointment, or you're showing a house, here you go. You can rewatch every single one of these, make sure you're staying up to date. And then also, we didn't show this part, but we do have a very extensive help library. So for anybody who wants to go in on their own and they want to build out, let's say, a newsletter, and you want to learn how the email section works, right? You can click on the help library. There's an extremely in-depth help library here. You can click on any of these folders, and almost every single one of these has videos actually showing you everything and tells you how these things work. And then if that's not enough, we also have live chat support from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard. So you can message our live chat support anytime, or if you have something that is like in the moment, you need it right now, something's going on, there's also a meet with support button right here where you can actually schedule a time to book with me as well. So lot of awesome stuff. We try to help our users as much as possible, get them up to speed, get them using the platform, because ultimately the more you use our platform, the more we're gonna have you guys see success.
And Willie, let me say this because I've seen a lot of questions. Guys, book the appointment. Y'all know me, you followed me. I promise you, we do not high pressure you. Get on the phone, talk with them, because we have several different levels. You might not need the one with the ISA. I don't know. You might not even need us. Let's just be real. But if you're interested in what we're offering with this breakthrough CRM and appointment setting package, get on the phone, book the appointment. Our product specialists are trained not to pressure you. They're not going to pressure you. In other words, you don't have to be afraid. Our guys aren't going to do that. They're going to answer your question. And if you're interested and you see value in it, then we're going to put you in the right package. So if you have questions, probably the best thing that I can tell you to do is book that appointment. Trust the ninja. You're not going to get hammered. They're not going to follow you and pressure you to give your credit card. Because Willie, Brian, we don't want anybody to feel pressured to get on here, because we know that you won't be a long-term client and we're not going to be able to help you achieve your real estate goals. So hear my heart. Go book the appointment. Find out what level works for you. They will tell you what you get in the level. There's no bait and switch. Obviously, if you're going to buy a $75,000 car, you're getting more stuff in it as opposed to a $25,000 car. But you have to decide what you can afford and what looks to be the best pathway if you choose to get to your real estate goals. So trust the ninja, book the appointment. I promise you, they're not going to do anything to you that will make you feel pressured. You're going to gain knowledge. And, if anything, you might find yourself utilizing something that will get you to your goals, or you might not. But we're here to help you guys get there if you want and you partner with us. But book that call and find out what plan looks really good for your real estate goals.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, we just want to be able to offer whatever's correct for you. And it seems like we know we've got a lot of people on here that follow Kelly. They use either Mailbox Power or My Plus Leads, or maybe you don't, but it seems like we've got a lot of random packages that we're going to need to make sure to personalize. So just book time and we'll go through with each and every one of you and we'll make sure that it's done right.
Excellent. Okay. And the link to book the appointment is on the screen. Grab it before we hang up, which will be soon. And make sure you guys book that call. And then let me know. Come to Workplace if you follow me, or YouTube. Email me. Let me know your experience. I want to make sure you guys are taken care of. But man, I tell you what, Willie, this to me is the future. Real estate's changing and we need to stay fluid and change with it. so that we can hit the financial goals that we all want to. You know, we tell this funny story all the time. Agents become real estate agents because they see somebody else making a lot of money. And unfortunately, after about 18 months, they just quit and give up and go, work at Walmart as a door greeter, right? We don't want anybody to do that. We want you guys, you're 5 closings away from making more money than what somebody does full time at McDonald's all year round. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but 5 closings away. And, our heartbeat is to present you with the tools you need to get to those closings. So, anyway, hit us with questions, come back to us, email me if you have any questions, but book your appointment, find out a little bit more about what this system can do. And man, I'd love to see you guys take advantage and then join us on these coaching calls on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We throw down some serious marketing knowledge, guys. And, I used to pay $5,000 a month for a coach. I don't do that anymore. I now do it. And you guys get to take advantage of all of that with us. So Brian, any last words with you, Brian? Are you with us?
I've got a couple of closing thoughts on this, you guys. So I used to be a Zillow employee, and I remember going to every single one of the meetings. It was an all hands on deck meeting. And I was a financial advisor before I joined Zillow and before I got into the marketing side of things. And I watched every acquisition that they had done, from Trulia to Mortec Mortgage to Dotloop. And I saw the writing on the wall. I knew they were going to become a brokerage. They were positioning themselves on that chessboard to put it into checkmate. And every single meeting started with Spencer Raskoff coming up and saying, we are never going to be a brokerage. It was to get everybody to drink the Kool-Aid so we can get back on the phones and go and sell agents and bring them on board. We launched this Facebook advertising platform with Zillow while I was there, and we generated leads for agents at a fraction of the cost of what Premier Agent was. In Seattle, our agents were paying $1,500 for a lead. That's a buyer lead, $1,500 for one lead. We were generating those same leads on Facebook for $5 to $10 a lead. So Zillow decided, hey, we're no longer going to do this program anymore because it actually devalues our Premier Agent platform. So we're going to stop this program. They asked me what team I wanted to join, and I decided to go out on my own and launch Beano Advertising. And the reason is that my goal is to give you as agents the power to combat the major big box companies out there that are not only coming into encroaching in your territory and becoming a brokerage. They're in every state now. They're taking your leads and they're buying up houses left and right. I want to empower you guys with all of the tools and resources that you need so that you can see success and beat out the big box guys. So that's how I'm going to leave you guys. I want y'all to win, and I want you guys to take down those big companies and win those leads for yourselves. And most importantly, earn those commissions and build those lifelong relationships. So I appreciate everybody for taking the time to jump on this meeting today and let us share our platform with you. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and book an appointment. We have a package for every agent, no matter what level you're at, whether you're brand new getting started, whether you have a team of 20 agents. We've got a way to get your business rocking and rolling and start growing your pipelines and ultimately getting them to burst so that you guys have commissions coming out. So again, thank you guys so much for joining. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys inside Leads to ROI in our weekly live trainings and on our support calls.
And everybody look for an email from us after this event. Okay. Thank you very much for your time. Have a good rest of your
Check promotions.
Thank you, everybody.
Check your promotions.